Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of How to Minecraft. Today we are going to be doing a slightly different type of video. It's still going to be a How to Minecraft video, but I'm going to focus a little bit more on tutorial and a little bit less about my world. And you probably tell from the title and the thumbnail and what I'm doing right here. It's all going to be about redstone. By the way, don't forget that we are doing a giveaway of Minecraft Builders and Biomes and Minecraft Builders and Biomes Farmers Market, the expansion pack. So I've mentioned it in the last video. We did a whole video about the expansion pack, so you should definitely check that out. But if you want a copy, head to my Twitter account and just respond to the tweet. All you have to do is just make a response. Make sure you also follow my account so that I can DM you if you win. Other than that, that's all you gotta do to be entered in to win. So good luck. Okay, so I'm gonna make a beginner redstone tutorial, and that's mostly because I feel like after a certain amount of time, all the old redstone tutorials kind of become a little bit outdated. So I want to kind of do an update and be able to sort of bring a new generation, I guess, of redstoners into the fold so that you could learn a little bit about how redstone works and where you can get started with redstone. So if you're just an absolute beginner from the very, very start of your redstone career, this video is for you. First off, we obviously need to get some redstone dust. Well, it generates really, really low in the world. So right here, this is my crazy quarry, and you can kind of see, just running through it, there is no redstone ore anywhere in these layers of my quarry. And this is because it's really close to the surface. So just heading up these stairs, once we get up here, we're just like at the ground level, at the normal like spawn level. So we need to go way further down into the ground in order to get redstone dust. Here is my other mine shaft. So you can see that we are heading way down. This is the same level that you're gonna find diamonds at. So 15 and below. And in this space, we'll find redstone. I think I've mined all of it up. Oh, here's some. There you go. Found some redstone that I didn't mine up. And when you normally mine this, it will break into redstone dust. If you have silk touch like I do on this netherite pick, it'll drop the block. Or if you don't have silk touch, I have fortune on this one. Hello, get out of here. Interrupting my video. Now set me on fire. Okay, put ourselves out here. There we go. That's why we have a protection bucket. Protection bucket. So if you're not using silk touch and you mine it, then it drops dust as it falls. You also get experience. Hooray, experience. Okay, so once you have some redstone, well, what can you use it for? Well, most things that are redstone-y actually like don't really require redstone as a thing. Like if you're just gonna make a switch, a lever, that's cobblestone and a stick, and then it has redstone capabilities. Or a button, you just use stone and then put it in the crafting table and you got a button. But obviously a few things do need the redstone dust. So you got your redstone torches, and then you can use some smooth stone, which I will casually just mine up right here. Throw some smooth stone on the bottom, and then in the top or middle, I guess, add your torches and redstone, and then you have a repeater. Just so you know, a repeater looks like this, and it has an arrow sort of built into it, so keep that in mind. I forgot to bring some quartz with me, but basically replace the redstone with some quartz and then put a torch on top, and you get a comparator. And this is what a comparator looks like. It also sort of has an arrow built into it, but you really know the difference because it has 3 redstone torches on the top instead of just 2. And we're going to get into what these do later. And I'm not really going to get into every single thing you can build with redstone because so much of Minecraft can be manipulated or changed with redstone, and you probably already know that. So let's just go through some of these basic ones, though, specifically with the redstone dust. Now you can click it to make it a dot or an X or a cross, basically. With a repeater, you can click it and change the delay of the repeater. With the comparator, you can change the mode into a subtraction mode, and then all these other ones you probably know, levers and buttons you can switch. Now, let's talk a little bit more about Redstone Dust, because this was extremely confusing for me when I was getting started. How do you get Redstone Dust to, say, hook up with a lever? If I put a lever nearby, does it just kind of know that it should work? Like, how is it actually connected? And how you have to think of it is you're going to have some objects that create a redstone signal, or they create a redstone line. And what they are doing is they are sending that redstone power to the blocks around them. So in a situation like this, where you have a lever on a block, when you turn on this lever, hello Enderman, get out of here. The lever is now powering redstone, and it is going to be sending that redstone power to the blocks around it, like I mentioned. So which blocks is it powering? Well, it's powering the block that it is sitting on. So I'm going to basically, I'm going to recreate this here with this lamp. So the block it's on, that's getting powered, but also all of the blocks around that block. So I'm going to mark them here with red wool. So the one below that block that's being powered itself, the one below itself, the one behind or in front of the block that it's on, or itself, the one to the side, the one to the other side, and then of course the top as well. And we can kind of demonstrate this by taking our redstone lamps and sticking them on here. So if I put it right here, even though it's like not connected and there's like this air gap, this is a powered block, quote unquote, even though it's just a lever. This entire space is being powered, which is powering its neighbor. Now, it only goes for one step. So if I was to put another block here, it wouldn't work, because this is basically a source block of redstone. This is a source block of redstone, and then it can jump one extra block from there. So just like we did over there, we're going to put these two blocks there, that there. You can see that it works. Boop, here, underneath. It also works. And if this wasn't going to work, by the way, it'd be unpowered. So we know that what I'm saying is true. I swear. And then right there and there. So that is how we are getting power. Now, this is using redstone lamps, but if you switch this out for anything like redstone line, it would also work. So that lamp, if it was line, then that line would be powered, and the redstone wire or dust has the ability to keep it flowing, keep that redstone going somewhere. So in this situation that I was showing you before, where I had the lever sort of close by, but not quite, well, this block is powered and this block is powered, and the block underneath it is powered, but like I said, we can only kind of go one extra space away, and we've already made that jump. So, we have the source, we have the jump, and so it's not going to get over to this. If I was to stick a redstone dust right there, then it would work. Or if I was to say mine out, here's my pickaxe axe. If you put that there, then it would work. Or if you wanted to really, really hide the redstone line and you're hoping that no one ever sees it, remember that you can get the block behind it. So that block behind it is a source block, and then it will jump one extra block. So then you can put redstone dust there. Hope that makes a little bit more sense for you. Let's talk a bit about the redstone torch, because it's a little bit weird, where the switch was itself a source, and the block it was attached to is a source. The redstone torch, the block it is attached to, is not a source. Basically, that little stick right there is like, no, I don't want to associate with you at all. So if I take our lamp and throw it down and then put a torch on top of it, it will not power the lamp. The places that it is powering is where it is, and then all the way around it. And it's not the case where like this is itself a source block. This is its extra step. So it is the source block, and then its extra redstone step is around it. But the block above it will be a source block. So if it is like this and there's like some type of solid block above it, then that will be a source block, and you'll get all of the, ooh, I placed that wrong. You'll get all of the jumps off of that source block. So let me take this down and show you with lamps. So a lamp here, that'll be powered, but one off to the side, it will not. A lamp above it will not be powered until the source block is being powered. And let's see if we can jump and place it. There we go. So once we place that, that becomes a source block, and it powers the one next to it. And then on top of that would also be powered. So we got boop, 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 boop. These are all powered blocks just like that. So the torch is a little bit different. So let's talk about redstone dust, or like a redstone line or redstone wire, whatever you want to call it, is basically redstone put on the ground in a line. And this has sort of some different properties from the lever. By the way, the lever has the same behavior for a button, wooden button, where it's itself is a source, the block is attached to is a source, and then it makes one hop of redstone. Now, the line is a little bit different, because where before the lever was itself a source, the line is not. The redstone dust is not. So think of it as if the lever didn't produce its own redstone signal. Now there's some weird behavior around that though. And whatever the line is on top of though, that is a redstone source. So if I was to sort of mark it out here with red wool, the white wool block is a source of redstone. So the sides and the bottom would all produce a redstone signal. Remember, it's the source block and then one hop, and not diagonal. Diagonal does not count. And if the redstone wasn't there, it'd basically be that, but that redstone takes up an entire block. Now you get into a weird situation at the end of the redstone line. First off, this block right here, that is getting powered from that white source block, and then it's jumping one over. But wherever it ends, wherever this redstone line ends, if it lands into another block, that is now a source block. So I'm going to use my white wool as a source block. So wherever it ends, if it ends pointing into a block, then that is a source block. And so above, to the side, below, which we already have one below, and to either front or back, that is all going to be a hop that the redstone signal takes. And it's kind of unintuitive, because you would almost say, okay, well, that's going to be powered by redstone. But if that's there, then it has become a source block. So you get that behavior as well. So let's show how this all works with lamps, just to show I'm not lying. So we have our lamps here. If we set them on the side, they will power. Below, they will power. That little corner area, sorry, that does not power. Same thing over here. And then just to kind of show you that the redstone line itself is not a source, this will not power, and putting one on top of it will not power, which feels unintuitive. I would feel like the redstone line would be a source of redstone. And also this will power. Then when we put this block here, that becomes a source block. So here, 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 and over here will all power, and then nowhere else you won't be able to get power there. And by the way, this is a great indication of what I'm talking about, it being a source block. Air cannot be a source block. So if I remove that, then the redstone lamps around it all go dark, even though only that one block has been removed. So as many of you know, redstone power degrades as it moves away from a source. 16 is the maximum power that you can have, and so this redstone torch is giving off a power level of 16. Then as it moves one block away, this is 15, 14, 13, all the way down till we get to just 1 right here, and then 0 power. And if we want to continue this redstone line, we need a repeater. Remember, that's the one with 2 torches that you can kind of click to delay, and that will continue your power going forward, and it will start it back up at 16, and you can continue to move. Now, you don't need it to be right there at the very end. If you want to, add it somewhere on in the string, you can add that and it continues on. Whenever you add a repeater, and basically whenever you add an extra step in your line, you're going to be adding delay. So Minecraft counts its time in ticks. Every second, there's around 20 ticks. If your game is running slow, that may be worse, and it may be like 10 ticks, but it maxes out around 20. And so every time that you add one of these steps in your redstone line, it's going to add delay, and normally it's about 1 tick of delay, so 1/20th of a second. So if I'm to come over here, I'm going to remove this, and I'll put down this lever. It's going to be very fast, but you can kind of see that the second redstone line back there, in fact, I can go even closer so that, whoops, here, no, I don't want to do that. I want to put that there so you can actually see this a little bit closer on screen, is when I turn this on, that there is a little bit of a delay. And so just be aware that as you add these things and you get into really complicated builds, timing is very important. You want one piston to move out of the way before another piston moves into that space or something like that. And so be aware that as you're following a tutorial or whatever, and you put down these elements, you want them to be exactly as the tutorial maker put them down, because you may have a timing situation that needs to be fulfilled. Also, with a repeater specifically, you can change the delay. So it's always at a 1 tick delay just by using it, but you can add another tick of delay by moving the repeater back a step. So now we're on 2 ticks delay, 3 ticks, and then 4 ticks is the maximum, and then it resets. So this is much more delayed than this, and you can easily see the delay there. And if we're going to remove that, there you go. And it works for turning it on and for turning it off, that delay. And so if you really wanted to make something very, very delayed, we could add a ton of these. If we got up to 5 of them, which we don't have enough, but I can make another. So these are all on their most delayed, which is 4. 4 times 5 equals 20. Remember, 20 ticks a second. So it should take exactly 1 Mississippi for the redstone line to go down. And let's try this again. 1 Mississippi. Maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe not. But there you go. That's how timing works with repeaters. I'm going to cover 2 more concepts, and then I think that is where we're going to call it for today's video. First is you can reverse a redstone signal. So right here we have 2 redstone lines. But let's say I had some type of contraption that when this switch is powered on, I want the contraption to turn off. Like maybe it's a door. I always want the door to be activated so all the pistons are turned on all the time. But obviously I need a redstone signal going to that. I need it to be powered all the time so that the pistons are on. And then when I flip the lever on, I want that to turn off. So I want to reverse the signal. Well, you do that using a redstone torch. It has a very, very unique behavior that when it is sitting on one of those source blocks that I was talking about before with a lever or the redstone, that it will turn off. So that extra step to the next block, to the block over, that will turn the torch off. So right here, if I'm using this block, I'm going to turn that off. If I stick this torch to it, it's just going to be on, right? And then if we power this and make sure that the block that it's attached to is one of those source blocks, then it will turn itself off. And that is a way to reverse a redstone signal. So when this is on, this is off. And in the opposite, when this is off, this is on, because a torch just outputs redstone. Now, this does not work with an extra hop added in. So if you remember, this would be the source block, and then I'll actually switch this out to keep it a little bit more consistent with what we were showing before. Source block makes 1 hop, and then if that is attached to that, it won't work because the redstone isn't actually reaching the torch. Also, the torch does have to be attached to the block. So right here, that works, but right here, that does not work. So you can see it turns off when it's attached, but it stays on if it's just in the same block space, but not actually latched onto that block. And that works on all the various places you can put a torch. You can't put a torch underneath a block. By the way, fun fact, this used to be how you would extend your redstone signal. You used to have to make your own repeaters, and this is what you would do. If this is turned off, right? Then, oh, I guess, there we go. This is what we used to, it's been so long. It's been so long since I've had to do this. I forgot how to make it. So there you go. So this is how you used to repeat your signal is you could use this as a way. So you have the signal turned off over there, you turn it on, and then it's on over there. You basically just reverse it and then reverse it again because your signal would only reach 16. And if you think about it, that is kind of what a repeater looks like. It looks like that sort of situation of torch with redstone in the middle, and that's actually the if you remember, that is the crafting recipe. I have to grab some of this, where you have your stone, you have your 2 torches, and you have redstone in the middle, which is kind of cool. The next concept I want to talk about is comparators. So comparators will look at a block, like they have almost a direction that they're seeing, and when they see that block, they'll try to tell the inventory of that block. And this is how you get a lot of interaction with all of the other blocks in Minecraft. Comparators will work with cauldrons, they'll work with lecterns, they'll work with chests, they'll work with all sorts of stuff. So this is a good way to kind of get that concept that redstone in itself can work with redstone, but redstone can also integrate in with all the other blocks of Minecraft. So also, the reason I want to talk about comparators is to talk about signal strength. So right here, this comparator is only outputting a signal strength of 3. And if you'll remember, that torch that we put down earlier did a signal strength of kind of 16 or 15. It started at 15 and then went on. And this is, only started at 3 and goes on. So it's hard to tell. Is it 4 because that comparator's taking up a space or not? But anyway, so as just a default, your full signal strength is just like this torch, but you can also have different signal strengths based off of how far either a signal is away from a major source like a torch, or if this comparator is just outputting a smaller amount. And then we can raise this amount by filling up this chest with more things. And once we did that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now it is signal strength of 5. Comparators have a very unique ability to see through blocks. So right here, we have this solid block in between it and the chest. And as you can kind of see, it is still outputting a signal through that block. So you can kind of hide your comparator redstone because it'll look through a block to the chest. So it's like hidden redstone. Obviously, if it was on the other side of the wall, this isn't hidden at all. I'll leave you with one sort of bonus tip, and that is that redstone dots can be a little bit weird, and they've changed recently. So we have a torch on the bottom that makes this a source block, and so we'll put a redstone piece right on top of it. When we right click this redstone piece, and we can do it with the redstone in our hand or sword or whatever, it will switch between a cross and a dot. And this is a new switch. So if we were to hold down shift and place our redstone, oh man, there we go. We placed our redstone activated things around it. Whenever it is in a cross mode where the redstone line aims for those, it will power them. But if it's in a dot mode, it will not. And there's certain reasons you would want a dot of redstone or a cross of redstone in order to pull off a certain redstone event. So keep that in mind. That is a new sort of thing with how Minecraft has been updating recently. Now, there is still a lot more to Redstone. I mean, like tons and tons and tons more. You have like stuff you can do with hoppers. We haven't even talked about like transparent versus solid blocks. Like there is a lot of other things when it comes to Redstone. But I hope that if you were wanting a sort of general overview on Redstone so that you could just run a wire from one spot to another, or you're having trouble with a switch or a tutorial, that this has put you on the right path to success. And if y'all love this video, then I might do a part 2 kind of talking about some other concepts when it comes to Redstone. Thanks so much for watching this episode of How to Minecraft on OMG Craft. You guys are incredible. Thank you so much for your support. If you want to directly support me, there's 2 ways you can do that. You can become a member of the channel. Members get videos early when I can make them early. Sometimes I've been exporting like an hour before they go out, and then I won't publish it early. But if I make it about a day ahead, I'll give it to you early. And also, if I ever do a vlog, you'll get access to that. And of course, you directly support me. So thank you so much to the members of the channel. And you can also buy my merchandise at helloomg.com, HELLOOMG.com, 2 O's, 2 L's. And I really appreciate y'all sticking with me for this video. Like, subscribe, all the things. See you next time. Bye.